I hate gift giving and receiving.
Receiving gifts is so weird. What do you say? Thank you?
This is Coffee Convos with Kail Lowry and Lindsie Chrisley.
I really want you to be in your feels, Kail.
That does not interest me whatsoever.
I feel very attacked by you.
A spirited discussion about motherhood, friendship, family, and life in the public eye.
I'm just not with the fakery anymore.
There's a fakery bakery around here.
Here's Kail and Lindsie.
Are we recording right now?
Good morning.
Buenos dias. It was a little bit of an eventful time getting on here. Kristen and I are at the lake, and I had to connect to Wi-Fi and stuff, and I got a new computer, and there was just a lot going on. So good morning. How are you?
I am alive, unwell as usual, and thriving this morning. Jackson and I actually slept in. He is playing hooky today, and yeah, we're living it up. I'm drinking an Alani and ready to chat with you.
I actually drank coffee this morning for the first time in months and months and months.
You're gonna have diarrhea shits.
Well, probably, but I feel like because we're at the lake house, I feel like I did not have. So where I'm from, my actual hometown, which I've told you guys before, is not Nazareth, Pennsylvania, like the show says, but I'm actually from Honesdale and Lake Wallenpaupack. That's where I grew up. They don't have a Starbucks here. So they don't have any type of
what
other
a crime.
Yeah. So knowing that I didn't have instant access to it, and the lake house can't get any deliveries to it. So just knowing that I couldn't have coffee because I didn't have access to it, I literally was I feel like I want coffee. And it's so weird because at home, it repulses me. It's repulsed me for the past several months. So it's just a weird
You know what I think it is? It is something psychologically about that.
It has to be.
I swear it's a marketing thing that Chick-fil-A does. Yes, that is God's food, Jesus' chicken. But them being closed on Sunday, I feel like I always want Chick-fil-A on Sunday, and it's got to be some type of psychological thing that they're messing with your mind, and it's because you can't get it.
I think you might be right. I do. I think you might be right about that. So same thing for you can't really have when we got here yesterday, Kristen, we were trying to Instacart stuff because nobody wants to go to the store with 12 people. Nobody wants to do that.
No one's signing up for that. I don't want to go to the store with me.
I literally don't want to bring my kids to the store. I don't want to go to the store by myself.
Same.
So, I do a lot of delivery for my groceries because it's just more convenient. And here you can't do that. So, her order got canceled 3 times. Finally, we got a delivery this morning, but they're very few and far between. You can't just get it on a whim.
Speaking of, Kristen actually Instacarted me because after our recording last week, literally right after the recording last week, I came down with some sickness. I'm calling it the flu because everything else was ruled out. Took multiple COVID tests. No, it's not that. Kail, when I tell you this sickness that I came down with was all of a sudden, I couldn't get out of the bed. And I am so thankful that Suburban Dad was over here because if he wasn't, I don't know if I would have been able to survive. My sweats and fever and just general nausea was so bad. I was wait, am I dying? This might be the situation where I really need to call 911 and get an ambulance and get me to the hospital. I felt so bad. I was about to start crying because I thought I was dying.
Dehydration and stuff like that.
Yes,
you should have went and got an IV.
When I tell you, I don't know if anybody that is listening to this has ever gotten so sick that they got afraid that they might be passing away. That's how I felt. And I was oh my God, what am I going to do? I need to get in touch with Kristen, but I don't even have the strength to get in touch with Kristen, and life insurance policy and
update your living will.
Yeah. Am I
God.
okay?
I mean, Lindsie, that's awful. That is so, are you feeling better? Are you better?
Yes, it was so weird. So I had this fever and it was for like 2.5, 3 days.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden, once the fever broke, I showered and I was good.
Our bodies are so weird.
Like I've never had something like that. Actually, my smart ass ex-husband had sent an email yesterday and it was to Kristen and it was like, and
he emails Kristen?
Wait, yeah.
No,
so,
why? Why does he email her?
Kristen's our mediator.
Oh my God, goodbye.
And so in that email, it was like, hold on, let me just see. I'm not going to give you guys all the contents of the email because that would be
the contents of the fucking
inappropriate.
Email. I know,
but it was so great. Okay. Instead of nitpicking, your employer should maybe show a little credit and appreciation towards me. Ask her who helped her when she suffered through the fastest flu in the history of flus. Like, stop typing.
Not
like,
the
literally.
The fastest flu in the history of flus.
Literally get off your fucking PC and find something else to do.
Stop it right now. Stop it. Get off your PC. Does he have a PC? Why does he not have a Mac?
This is the same person that rolled around with an Android the entire time we were married, but then decided that he was going to be with the times and get an Apple Watch and an iPhone after we got divorced. But I'm assuming that's when he got on these dating apps. So
what the fuck is going on? I feel like the fuckery was so real this week. Like, our group chat blew the fuck up. Like, I didn't know what the fuck was going on.
Wait, are we going to talk about that right this second? Because, well, we can't talk about it right this second because I've got a couple other things I need to tell you about before we get to that.
Okay.
That's like the meat of this conversation.
The meat.
That's the meat and potatoes, baby. Okay, so I feel like I am ready to hard launch Suburban Dad. I don't know why I'm so afraid of this.
Well, it's
and
nerve-wracking.
Generally, like, I don't really care about what the general public thinks about anything really, which is slightly alarming. Sometimes my parents are like, okay, the level of no fucks given is scary.
Mm-hmm.
But I am nervous about it and I don't know why. It just feels like kind of scary, but it also feels like the right time for me to do it.
Okay. Well, whenever you're ready, we'll be here.
But were you nervous?
I was very nervous. It's very nerve-wracking because it's one of those things where it's like, you want to keep it private because you deserve some level of privacy and you want to protect the relationship and the person at all costs. But then you also, it's like, if I do this, is shit going to go south immediately? But I feel like, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't feel like you have as many trolls as I do that would be willing to try to ruin the relationship outside of maybe like exes. So if you feel comfortable, I say do it. I mean, it's obviously nerve-wracking, but also you could do a TikTok that says, does anyone want to claim this man before I hard launch him? I saw that on TikTok. And I was like, honestly, that's kind of amazing. It was like, does anyone want to claim this man before I marry him? And
wait, you have to send me these TikToks. This is so good.
Yeah, they will show the man. It's like, does anyone want to claim him or tell me whatever before I marry him or before we move in together or whatever like the milestone is. And I thought about doing that, but
I'm so dead.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I love that. I love that so much. Please send me the TikToks. I was going to say, I do think that you have a lot more trolls. Mm-hmm. Actually, my ex-husband let me know that I also have trolls. And it's funny because
he is one.
He is one.
Will, it's so hard because I loved Will when I met him. So it's so hard because it's like, the one side of me is like, I don't want to hear this horrible stuff about Will because I really liked him when I met him. But then on the other side, it's like, he really had me fooled if he's doing all this fucking wild ass shit. So it's sad. I'm sad.
Well, it is sad. Like I had said before, the statement, you don't know someone until you divorce them.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Is so true for me. And I think that, people's true colors really come out. My parents never liked him. So I guess they're just in the phase of told you so, told you so, told you so. Mm. Don't we all love to hear that? Like, I'm sure.
It's not helpful. Like, it's not helpful at all.
I'm sure other people who are listening to this that have parents that love to remind them about how they told them so can relate to me. Actually, my dad loves to regularly send me memes, and every morning I wake up to stuff, and there was an I told you so meme like in there this morning. He also had sent me something last night before I went to bed that said it was from Crazy Bitch Problems, and he's always sending me this. So I don't know if he is a crazy bitch or if he thinks I'm a crazy bitch. But it said, I'm so impressed by people in their 20s who got divorced. You made a commitment, broke a commitment, hired a lawyer in the same decade that I couldn't figure out what to do with my hair. I'm like, I don't know if I should feel attacked, impressed.
Right.
Like, which one
it's
am I?
It's a little of both.
Love that so much. Wait, I'm gonna play the little thing that he sent me this morning.
Never do wife duties at girlfriend prices. I do not believe in that.
Never do wife duties at girlfriend prices.
I've heard that before. I have a lot of feelings on this because I just feel like it's one of those things where it's like, if you value marriage and if that's what you want, I understand that, but I also understand like showing your person, your partner who you're supposed to love and you're supposed to end up with, you know, who you are before you get married kind of thing. Like, unless they just know that they're going to marry you before you do all of that, and then that's fine, and then it just gets better when you get married. But then on the other hand, like, marriage is not the end game for everybody. So if it's not the end game, then when you guys move in together, you're going to do all the things that you would do when someone else gets married. Does that make sense?
Oh, no, it makes total sense. I think when I hear that, the way I listen to it is take like wife and girlfriend out. And like, if you are not committed to the level of what like a marriage would be, you shouldn't be doing those types of duties at the lower price.
Y'all be knowing I love pair eyewear. Lux calls them kinetic glasses instead of magnetic glasses.
It's so cute. Your TikTok is my fave.
Yeah, so I just did a TikTok on these, and actually Lincoln just got his football uniforms, and I want to match my glasses to his football uniform so I can be totally in the spirit. And they have over 650 top frames to choose from. They're super fun. I have like 10, I think. And the base shapes are starting at just $60, including your prescription. So that's really, really nice. There's hundreds of matching magnetic tops. And I don't know, they're just cheaper than traditional glasses. They're so fun.
You always have the cutest glasses and I don't. So I feel like I need to get pair eyewear because it just seems like changing up the lenses are just so easy, and to be able to like transform your look whenever the mood really strikes seems enticing to me. So, you know, one pair, endless possibilities. Glasses don't have to be boring.
Yeah, no. And they also have blue light sunglasses, readers, light responsive lenses. So there's definitely options for anyone. Like if you're just looking for like a blue light lens. And today, over 200 million children worldwide who need glasses can't get them. So beyond, you know, your cute little glasses for us, Pair wants to do some good. So for every pair that you buy, Pair provides glasses to a child in need, which we love a good give back. You guys know that. We promote give backs all the time.
So if you guys would like to try Pair, you can get glasses as ever changing as you are with Pair. Go to paireyewear.com/coffee convos for 15% off your first purchase. That's 15% off at paireyewear.com/coffee convos.
I'm Lola Blanc.
And I'm Megan Elizabeth.
And we're the hosts of Trust Me, the podcast about cults, extreme belief, and the abuse of power.
Now on Podcast 1.
We're real-life cult survivors.
And we're here to tell you anyone can join a cult.
If you've ever dived headfirst into a new self-help program,
or believed wholeheartedly in a spiritual practice,
or even just trusted someone with your life,
guess what? You're just as susceptible as everyone else.
No one is safe, especially not Megan.
I'm the most susceptible.
We want to debunk the myth that people who join cults are uneducated or naive or broken, because anyone can be manipulated by a narcissist or feel good in a new group they've joined.
And we should know we both have been.
Join us every week as we explore the the world of extreme belief,
Talk to survivors and experts.
and share our own experiences with cults and the abuse of power.
Don't be fooled. You might be next.
Get new episodes of Trust Me every Wednesday on Podcast One, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and anywhere you get your podcasts.
On this subject, can we also talk about something that has been coming up a lot in my life and also on my timelines? And I don't know if it's because Kristen and I have talked about it and my phone has heard, or Kristen and I are talking about it because it already comes up on our timeline. But this idea of men, and I'm sure some women do it, but I'm a little biased because I am a woman, men feeling like they do chores to help us. And it's like, no, those are literal household chores that all of us should be taking part in. I don't feel like I should be the only one that cleans, and I don't feel like I should be the only one that cooks, or you know what I'm saying? Like, those are not things that are just left to the women. You're not taking that off my plate. If you fucking live here, you need to participate.
Oh, this is so good.
You're not
I love
doing
this
me
combo.
a fucking favor by cleaning the kitchen. And I'm not talking about Elijah or anyone specifically. I'm just saying, like, in general, I've been in relationships where it's like, they literally feel like they did something for me by doing the laundry or doing the dishes or taking out the trash. No, these are fucking mutual things that we need to be doing together. And I'm not going to thank you. Like, I'm just not.
I think it is society tells us that, like, these are the roles, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
yeah, but those roles were established when men worked. They were the breadwinners, and they were financing a woman's entire lifestyle to be able to stay home and raise the kids and cook and clean. And that was her only job. It was not when society decided that both parents should be, or both partners should be working 40 plus hours a week, and the woman should have to still come home, clean, take care of the kids, do all of that. Like, obviously there are exceptions to this and there are really good men out there, but I think a majority of men who have this idea that, you know, they're working 40 hours a week so they don't have to come home and do mutual chores, I don't agree with that, because taking care of the kids and staying home is a full-time fucking job.
So I can give you my experience with this because it is something that we definitely struggled through when Will and I were married. At one point, I was considered a stay-at-home mom and stay-at-home wife. And I did all of the duties, like going to the grocery store and the laundry and cooking at one point. And all needs were met for Jackson. And then I have always kind of been a stay-at-home mom, but then I was a stay-at-home mom with an income at one point, and then a stay-at-home mom with an income that superseded my husband's. And so, you know, at that point, I got to a place where I was like, okay, I am providing at this point, bringing more to the table financially than my partner, still staying at home with my son and taking care of all of his needs. The last thing I want to do is clean this fucking house and put a meal on the table. And I know that that sounds horrible, but I think I grew bitter and I was resentful.
Yep. I knew you were going to, and you know what's fucked up is that we're almost like brainwashed to feel like we have to do these things. Cause I don't know about you, if you've ever experienced this, but there have been times where I will look at my partner's location just to see how close they are to home so I could get up and act like I did everything and vacuum again and do the dishes and do the things and do all the things that I'm literally preaching that I feel like I shouldn't have to do because I am a work from home mom. And even though I do have help and things like that, it's like I feel like I'm a piece of shit if I don't do those things. And I've literally talked to my therapist about it. I've literally been like, and she's like, leave the dishes in the sink, Kail. Leave them. Like, see what happens if you leave them. And I mean, Elijah has never said anything to me about it. But I
know
feel
it's self-induced. Like, you put that on yourself.
Yeah, because that's what I feel like I'm supposed to do.
No. And I'm like, no. I got to a point where I legitimately just did not care. And really, that caused huge problems in our marriage. And then we would get into the argument of, you know, Will didn't grow up with a housekeeper. I did. So I was like, it's not the end of the world for me to pay for someone to come and clean this house so that we can go out and enjoy a Saturday.
Right. Instead of focusing on what needs to still get done, and we can be present with our families and things like that.
Yeah. And like feeling like everything is a life chore, because that's what my marriage turned into, a chore. And to me, I'm like, okay, I look back on it and I'm like, okay, well, if he would have just let me hire the housekeeper, or if he would have just given on this, you know, I mean, I'm sure he probably does the same thing, but it's just, no, society tells us that as women, we are supposed to do all of these things, plus have a career, plus raise children, plus.
Right.
And men are allowed to go to work, play golf,
And they feel like they've
fuck their
worked.
wife 3 times a week.
Yeah. And don't get me wrong. There are women who probably like to do, you know, they're like, my man worked really hard. He works 40, 50, 60 hours a week. And they like to do those things. I'm not knocking the women that like to do it and they want to do it. So I really don't like, if you guys aren't fitting into the generalization that we're making right now, please don't message me and say that, you know, your specific situation is different, because that's not, you don't apply to this. You get what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to re-message. I hate when people message and they're like, well, I love this, or I like this, or this is how I do it. It works for us. Great. That works for you. It didn't apply to you then.
Right. Like, if it doesn't apply, let it fly.
Okay, Chris.
Right. Right. If it don't apply, let it fly. No, but I think then you get into the conversation of, if people are saying that, then it's a bigger conversation of, okay, well, is that your love language? Because that's not mine.
See, that's not mine either. Like, obviously I like to have a clean house and those things on my own, but I'm not going to do it for somebody else. I'm going to do it for me.
Like, my love language is not acts of service.
Oh, so
like Suburban Dads is. What's yours?
Mine is first acts of service. But now that you bring that up, evidently acts of service is actually a trauma response. Like, your love language being acts of service is trauma.
Tell me more.
Okay, hold on. Let me see. I didn't think we were going to get on this topic. Otherwise, I would have came prepared. Acts of, I got to Google this now because I had seen it. It was like a TikTok, so obviously it has to be 100% true. No, I'm just kidding.
Anything you see on TikTok is the Bible.
So basically, I'll post it on the story because I don't want to spend too much time looking for it because I just didn't think we were going to talk about this topic. But I will find it and I will post it on the story and I'll send it to you because I remember specifically seeing like it's like not real. It's trauma. It's from trauma.
See, my love language is not cleaning the kitchen or cooking food, but my love language is Netflix and chill.
Like quality time.
Yeah. I would love to know what other people's are because I think that also plays a part into everything that we're saying. Like, what is your love language? How do you give and receive love? We actually talked about that
a while
on
back.
the Southern Tea.
Yeah.
Like, the way you give love and the way you receive it could be two different things as well.
For sure. I also have this like complex, and I'm really showing my ass here, and it's only evolved over time. And I think that when money becomes involved, people get weirder. And I've said that 100 times on here.
1000%.
But I think that is also like, because I have always, I mean, even when I was married to Javi and he was bussing tables and I was a dental assistant, I was making more money than him. I've pretty much always made more money than all my partners. I can't think of any partner that made more than me. I have this complex where it's like, okay, how the roles have reversed. Society believes that, that a man works 40, 50, 60 hours a week and should come home to a home cooked meal and clean house and taking care of the kids. I feel like I'm the breadwinner. So either you're going to take care of mutual chores with me or you're going to do them all.
Oh yeah. No, I totally feel like that. And
it's a horrible trait to have, I'm sure, but that's how I feel now.
Yeah, no, see, I am of the mindset at this point, well, I have everything that's like my own. So at this point, I don't give a fuck. I'm going to do the way I want to do it. And have no intentions at this point to change that. I'm like, I have worked hard for this life and I'm going to do it the way that I feel is appropriate because I know what caused problems in my marriage. And I know how those problems, if I allow someone else to come in and control certain aspects of my life, it's just going to build resentment. And I'm going to keep doing it the way that I do it. Like, I work hard. I am a busy person. I have family to tend to, a child to tend to, and an ex-husband to fight. So I got shit to do. So I don't care.
Not an ex-husband to fight. Goodbye.
I don't care if someone wants to rag me because I have someone come and help me clean my house on Fridays. Like, I'm also helping them while they're cleaning as well. So it's not like I'm just having someone come in and clean all of my shit. You know, I'm also at home on Fridays, typically taking care of all of my household duties that need to be done so I can go into the weekend with a clean house and know that on Monday, whenever I wake up, that I'm not waking up into chaos. And I probably will not change that regardless of what partner that I have.
I agree. Now a word from our sponsor, BetterHelp. So Lindsie and I actually just got a message of a woman who said that she is so thankful for our code for BetterHelp because she's starting her therapy journey. And I told her, we're here for her. It's not going to always be easy, but BetterHelp is so great for therapy. And it's just tough to get through everyday life on a regular basis. So you add issues, trauma, anything else into it. It's hard. So therapy can be really beneficial for so many people. And Lindsie and I are happy to help and promote BetterHelp online therapy. You don't have to go in person. You can do online and you can go camera off too, which I've done. Actually, my last therapy session was camera off. So
sometimes you just don't want to be like, you want to be seen, but you don't want to be seen.
Right. Yeah. You want to feel seen without being seen.
Yes.
So if you guys are thinking about trying therapy, BetterHelp is a great option. It's convenient, it's accessible, it's affordable, and it's entirely online. All you have to do is take a brief survey. You can switch therapists at any time, which makes it super simple. When you want to be a better problem solver, therapy can get you there. Visit betterhelp.com/coffee today to get 10% off your first month. That's betterhelp.com/coffee.
Can you tell me about what the hell was happening at Hooters?
I don't know what was happening at Hooters, which is so funny because I just talked to, I'll call her a friend, Jade, who used to work at Hooters. And she was like, oh, like, it's great. And like, surprisingly, the girls support girls. Everyone likes to get dressed and like look cute and go scam men all day. And I thought that was so funny, right? So I happen to be scrolling. Again, I don't know if the phone's listening and showing me this shit on purpose or what, but it came up on my feed and it says, Hooters waitress taken into custody for allegedly dipping hot wings in her vagina on and off her period to rude customers. And it's literally a mugshot of this woman in her Hooters shirt.
Okay. First of all, on and off her period.
That's disturbing. I mean, there's other ways to get back at rude customers, but I don't think bodily fluids or body parts should be involved. I mean,
she was definitely doing this with flats. Like, it wasn't drummies.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, I am alarmed.
I'm very alarmed. Like, you couldn't think of anything else to do. Like, you know, tell them they're ugly on the receipt. Like, I don't know, maybe something that's not a felony, because this is like truly like, in order to think of something like that, you're already a psychopath. Like, you're a felon immediately. You were born a felon. You need to be locked up.
Like, this bitch was born a felon. If you had the thoughts of sticking a chicken wing in your coochie to get back at somebody, immediately you're a felon.
No, literally immediately, because that's not normal in any way, shape, or form to even think of that idea.
I haven't been to a Hooters in a minute.
I actually haven't been to Hooters in a minute too, probably years actually.
But I have been eating wings quite a bit. I think it has to do with the time of year. And I know that that's like, sounds really weird, but I tend to eat certain foods certain times of the year that I don't eat other times of the year.
Okay.
So like, wings is definitely like a major fall staple for me.
Okay.
I love them so much. I am a lemon pepper girl and I love an extra crispy flat. Don't fuck with me on that. And if you bring me blue cheese, don't.
I love blue cheese and I also love extra crispy flats.
God, it's so good. It's a fall thing. I'm really leaning into the idea of cooler weather. And I say this all the time, like, it'll be winter and then I'm like, I am so ready for summer. And then summer comes and I'm like, okay, I've had enough of this hot shit. So I'm ready for fall. Mm-hmm. And that's where we're at. I'm ready for like crock pot meals, some football food. I'm just really excited. College football is the absolute jam. I love nothing more than to wake up on like a Saturday morning and to just be active, go to the gym or something, maybe go on a walk, come home, shower, get in comfies, watch Clemson football, and eat finger foods. It's so great.
Unmatched.
It's an unmatched feeling. But speaking of fall, somewhere, I can't remember if it was like in the group chat on Telegram or not, but somewhere I said something about like how it smells like fall.
Oh, I don't
think
remember
it
that.
was because I was talking about how I was going to do stuff with Suburban Dad and our kids on the weekend. And I was like, it smells like fall outside. And then I was like, wait, I probably need to explain like how it smells like fall. I am definitely the type of person that associates emotions or like smells with emotion.
Smells. Oh, me too. 100%. 100%.
And in the fall, I always like get this sense of like, it's very hard to describe, but like it smells like fall to me. And when I was a little girl, when my parents were going through a custody dispute, my dad had me and my biological mom had Kyle, and they had to go to court. They had to go to some like court hearing.
Mm-hmm.
And this was in downtown Atlanta. And I don't know what was going through either person's mind, but I had been left in a car in a parking lot in downtown Atlanta by myself.
I know you told me this privately before, and I'm like so sad. I know what you're going to say.
I was probably like 6 or 7 years old. And I was put like in the floorboard, and I was given a wristwatch and told like, when the clock goes here, we'll be back. And they were in this court hearing, and I was underneath this blanket with this wristwatch, and the windows were cracked. And I can remember hearing people like, you know, if you're in a parking garage, like you can hear people's voice like echo.
Yeah.
And so I could hear voices echoing, and I was so scared, but I knew like I didn't need to move because I was afraid for somebody to see me. And I can remember this like it was yesterday. Afraid for someone to see me, afraid of the noises. And I just kept watching this watch, and the smell outside was fall. So every time I start smelling fall, I think of this memory.
That's fucking traumatizing.
Like, obviously it's trauma. And it's so weird. Fall is my favorite season, but also I associate the smell with
that memory,
a traumatic event. Yeah.
I also get that way. Any type of smells, like I'm very, very sensitive to smells. I'm the same way. I don't have a memory like that specifically, but I'm surprised that it's your favorite holiday, even though you think of that. Not holiday, your favorite season, even though you think of that. And I want to apologize if you guys can hear my kids out in the living room. The lake house is really small, so there's not really anywhere else for them to go.
No one can hear them.
Okay.
If we can, we don't care.
Okay.
Also, before we get really into it, I want to let everyone know that I personally am going to be covering Sins of Our Mother on here. It's a 3-part true crime docuseries that's coming to Netflix on September the 14th. And so I think that maybe, I don't know how we're going to cover it. If you guys would rather us cover it like by the episode, or just like an overview of all of it. I guess we'll have to see how in depth like it really is, but I'm excited for it.
You know, I just still wonder, and I think I've said this before, like, how do filmmakers and documentaries and like FBI and all these people decide what to make documentaries about, and like what crimes, what true crime, what do they get involved? Like, how is that decided? Because honestly, I feel like my life could be a Lifetime movie, or honestly like a really good 2-part documentary. So I just want to know, like, how is that decided?
I don't know,
because I've never heard of the people that are in Sins of Our Mother.
I don't know. And it's so weird. I'm like, well, did these people like approach someone to get this to happen?
Right.
Or
like, I need answers. And same for I Just Killed My Father. Like, I've never heard of that outside of this documentary. So like, how do they decide when, like, what is going to be created into films.
Wait, will you tell me about that? Because I just couldn't get into it.
Okay, so it took like a strange turn. I thought that this, like, he was kidnapped by like a random person. But it ended up that he was taken by his dad, and allegedly the biological mom was on drugs and didn't really have, outside of like missing persons signs, she didn't really do a whole lot to get him back because she was afraid of her ex-husband. And his current wife ended up leaving him because she was being abused by him as well. This young boy, he never went to school. The dad had such severe control issues that he never registered his son for school. He wasn't allowed to play with neighborhood kids. He was isolated in the home. And the dad basically brainwashed him, and his drinking became excessive, and he would like just traumatize and harass his son all the time, to the point where the son eventually snapped and shot his dad.
I wonder if that's like common with, because you hear it pretty often when you're watching true crime stuff about people who do things to their children. Like, first thing that came to mind was the Turpin family and how, you know, they didn't go to school. There's got to be something specifically that's causing them not to like involve them in regular secular society, I guess.
The thing about this specific documentary is that I think that the father was controlling him not going to school and having friends in the neighborhood because of how bad he was abusing and basically holding his own son captive. He couldn't risk his son telling somebody.
Right.
And
yeah,
so,
no, I think that's a common thing that you hear of, that's why they keep them away from general public, because they're afraid of what is going to be told.
Well, and there was one part too where when the stepmom ended up leaving for abuse, I think it was like her and her brother and her own son went to go get like furniture or something. And the dad had strategically placed cameras, not for like outsiders, but to keep an eye on his own family coming and going, which is a little sick. And he had told his son that they were coming to beat him up, and so that he can't answer the door for them. These are familiar faces. So the son got scared and was like texting the dad when they got there because he thought that they were coming to beat him up. So the stepmom was like, "We're not here to hurt you. Like, we're literally here to get furniture, and like, we're so sorry." But the one thing where the stepmom failed was that she says in the documentary and in court that her and her own son witnessed abuse of him, but they did not put that on any place in their own PFAs. Now, I filed PFAs before, as y'all know, and at the bottom or somewhere on the document, it'll say like kids in the household that you want to protect as well, and nobody ever named him. And I did think that was kind of like failing him a little bit, because even if you try and you put his name down and they don't protect him, you at least tried, and you at least let them know there is another child in the house that's being abused or whatever the case may be, but she did not do that. And so that did it was kind of like a mark against him. Like, is he abused? Is he not abused? And then there was this argument, which actually, let me say too, they did a mock trial for this case. The attorney ended up taking the case pro bono with like he never has to pay it back. And they did a mock trial, which I thought was really cool. And I have never heard of any other cases doing mock trials to see what the jury would think. And I felt like that was really helpful and insightful to see, like, what are the chances if this goes to a jury trial? I don't think it ever did. They ended up exonerating him and like letting him off or getting him acquitted. But I will say, like, I don't like the argument so much that, oh, other people have been traumatized and don't kill their parents. Okay, I was kidnapped by my father when I was 6 months old. And that's a story that my mom and my dad's sister told me, and their story is aligned. I didn't grow up to shoot any of my parents, but everybody handles trauma differently. So you can't compare people's traumas and how they react. You know what I mean? So I didn't really like that argument.
I agree. You know, every person handles a situation differently. They could be in the same situation, just like raising kids, right?
They could be raised exactly the same in the same household by the same parents and just come out a world differently.
And literally look like they were raised in two totally different environments by different kinds of people. So I don't agree with that argument either.
Yeah. So that was the summary. Also, they found a sibling. Somebody found a sibling of his, connected him while he was still in prison to his biological mom. He was able to go meet his grandmother, his aunt, and his mother, and kind of talk to them. And he, talked about how weird it was that he knows them, he's related to them, but he doesn't know them. But she said that, she never gave up on him, but the dad had told him that she was like cracked out and didn't care about him and was never looking for him, which was really sad. So I would be curious to know like what the relationship is now with his, with his maternal side. But the grandma says on the documentary, like, it was really good to meet you again. The next time we meet, I might not be alive, because she was older. But, we've always loved you and things like that. And I just thought, how sad is that? Like, he's missing that whole part of his life.
That's so sad. Well, if you're interested in true crime, we always do a true crime episode once a month, and then regularly cover documentaries on here when they come up, because I feel like they're coming up more and more. But if you're not interested in true crime and you want a good, just like easy, super, super easy watch and kind of like chicky watch, I just started Sweet Magnolias. I had finished Virgin River and was told by Suburban Dad's oldest daughter that like Sweet Magnolias was good. So I was like, I'm going to give it a try. Watch the first episode. Love it. So that's what I'm currently watching.
Okay, so I just went on Instagram Live and you were on it. And, everyone was like, what are you doing with your hair? And at the time, obviously, I just didn't have time because I was getting on another podcast. But I just got the Conair Smooth Wrap hair dryer. So as soon as we get off the podcast, I'm going to go use it to finish out my look for the day, because I'm going to football after this. And this is not a typical hair dryer. It's a treatment for all hair types. So traditional dryers emit only like negative ions to control frizz, but the Smooth Wrap is changing the game with innovative advanced plasma technology. So it'll wrap your hair in both positive and negative ions to rebalance the natural charge of your hair. And so the result of this is more volume and less frizz, which is exactly what I need, especially in the heat. Like, I just don't ever really want to do my hair until I discovered this.
Okay, so one, thank you for the science lesson explaining it, because your hair has been looking so good. It looks so smooth, so healthy looking, and it looks like there's like no frizz anymore.
Yeah. So
this is your secret. This is what you've been using.
Well, and I know that you've talked to me about not having a whole lot of volume. So this will definitely help give you the volume that you're looking for.
Ooh, see, now I definitely have to try it.
Yes.
Again, so now I know what you've been buying off Amazon. Obviously, this is where you got the Infinity Pro by Conair Smooth Wrap hair dryer. So
yes.
Now I'm going to have to go and buy it. Thank you again for influencing me. I'm super excited because I just feel better when my hair looks better. And it's giving you such like sleek, healthy looking hair.
And then I feel good about the day. You know what I mean? And let me just tell you, it has 3 heat and 2 speed settings. So you kind of have the freedom to switch up your hair, like your styles. And then it has a cool shop button, so you can lock your style in place. So if you do anything with your like special with your hair dryer, you can kind of lock it in place. And I love that.
Okay, so I'm assuming for like my hair, I normally use like, medium heat, but you have thicker hair, so you probably use high.
Yes.
Okay, this is making sense.
You guys need to get this. Kristen's going to go get one right now. Treat yourself and your hair by searching Conair Smooth Wrap on Amazon.com to try the new drying experience with Smooth Wrap today.
Outside of that, I want to tell you what happened to me with Jackson at Sky Zone.
Another incident at Sky Zone?
Well, there was an incident at Sky Zone, but this involved all 3 of our kids. Some boy throwing balls at their heads, but like that's literally the least of the worries. I was sitting at Sky Zone and had gotten a text from Will, and it said Brit is wild and out.
Who's Brit?
First of all, who goes by Brit as
an adult?
A grown woman? Like, that's first of all. Secondly, I'm just like, don't misfire text. I know that like you and your mother have an issue with misfired text, but like don't misfire text to your ex-wife. Like, probably not advisable. Then calls me at 7 something, and I have bought a 90-minute jump pass for Jackson. So I'm like, I'm not going to make him stop jumping to come and talk to you further, let's get into who the fuck Brit is and why she's wilding out and like why I'm getting the text about it.
And why does Will know she's wilding out?
Yeah, like we need to know why you know this. And so, you know, break it down and continue going back and forth with each other. It comes out that Will allegedly has a girlfriend.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
And this is interesting to me because, like, a true interesting revelation, because she was not a claimed girlfriend a couple of weeks ago in a parenting session with Jackson's therapist.
Mm-hmm.
And so at this point, I'm pissed off, not because he has a girlfriend, but I'm pissed off by the fact that we pay a lot of money for Jackson to participate in play therapy, which also requires both parents that are sharing custody to participate in this process. And if we're walking through the process of being a year out post-divorce and, you know, the therapist is kind of gearing Jackson up for, you know, what it looks like for your parents to date and like other people being introduced into his life as suburban dad. I have been fully transparent with Jackson's therapist about that and what we do. And just that way, when she's doing therapy with Jackson and he's playing, if she notices any themes, she is very aware of what's going on.
Right.
So Will coming to a therapy session and just being a bold-faced liar like doesn't benefit anyone, including himself. And now Brit's wilding out, and we don't know who the fuck Brit is, and he wasn't claiming her.
We don't know who the fuck Brit is. Can we not call her Brit? That is so childish.
He wasn't claiming the girlfriend a couple of weeks ago, and
childish Brit
alleged in this co-parenting session that he was dating, but was dating multiple people, not having a girlfriend. So I'm like, nothing adds up. So basically we have established now a couple of things. Brit is wilding out and you're a pathological liar. So I ask him, I'm like, okay, so you have this girlfriend. Who is she? Like, does she have kids? You know, like how old is she?
Mm-hmm.
Are you planning on introducing her to Jackson?
Mm-hmm.
Well, now I find out that she is, and this is not by me saying this, but like him saying this, she is high profile.
What does that mean? High profile?
I don't fucking know.
Like, is she like has a
she is an attorney and she is high profile.
She's an attorney. Okay. So
and I'm like, okay, so any attorney that's dating you, I'm surprised that she passed the bar.
Lindsie, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up.
Because if she's dating you, then that tells me everything that I need to know. She's stupid.
What kind of attorney is she?
No one knows. No one knows any of this information.
Okay.
This is the first I'm finding out about it. And how, you know, she's smart. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, that's interesting because the fact that she was fucking talking to you proves that she's not. So, okay. I never alleged that I was smart.
You are smart, though.
Am a reality TV personality, a podcaster, and an influencer. So if I want to be stuck on stupid, then that's okay because like my job fits the mold, right? But like she's an attorney and she's so smart, but she's fucking you. So like I'm confused.
Wait, so is this person real or is she not real?
No one knows. So I'm like, Jackson, does your dad have a girlfriend? And he's like, no, never heard of her. And I'm like,
never heard of her.
Okay. So he's claiming he has a girlfriend, but like you've never heard of her. So let's back up because Will no longer allows Jackson to have a cell phone at his house.
Why? No
one knows. You're asking all the questions that I need answers to as well. So it's weird because Will uses he blings Jackson's hotline while he's at my house.
Lindsie, shut up.
But yeah, I have to bling Will's hotline.
No, listen to me. The next smart ass email I get from Christopher Michael Lopez, I'm literally going to email him back and say, bling my hotline because oh my God, I fucking can't.
So, you know, Will has free reign to call, text, whatever Jackson while he's over here. Don't care, like whatever. Just don't call my hotline, like, because she shut off.
Because you're blocked.
But yeah, I have to call Will's phone to get in contact with Jackson. Will holds the phone, won't let Jackson hold the phone. When I FaceTime, it's 2 minutes, and then Will's like, I'm tired of this conversation, and then hangs up on us. And I'm like, first of all, you're tired of a conversation that you're not supposed to fucking be in. So, like, nobody invited you to this conversation. You're not allowed to be at this conversation. Like, I'm pissed off the fact that you're existing in this conversation. And then I realized, okay, well, maybe the reason he's holding the phone and won't let Jackson hold the phone is because he's afraid for Jackson to see text messages or something come through from this girlfriend or Brit. So I'm like, okay, now the pieces of the puzzle are adding up. So Will regularly says that I am obsessed. I am in love with him. He tells Jackson this, like, your mom's in love with me. Look, she's calling me. I called him at 7:08 the other morning on Jackson's way to school. And Will told Jackson, your mom's obsessed with me. She's in love with me because she's calling me. Bro, like, I'm calling your phone because you won't let Jackson have his phone at your house. So evidently you like me calling your phone, or you would allow him to have his phone at your house so I didn't have to call your phone. And why are you so obsessed with being obsessed with saying that I am in love with you? Like, nobody is in love with you.
Like, who are you trying to convince? Jackson or yourself?
Or because you don't have me convinced or fooled. Like, I'm good, bro. Like, I'm fine. I am on the suburban dad train. I've got things going on, and I'm certainly not trying to board the mental illness caboose that is going on with you. So it's really wild. So all of this happens, right? We get into this knockdown, drag out over the phone. And then the group chat. Would you like to tell what happens on the group chat? Because I was just sitting at the park with suburban dad and our 3 kids, enjoying a nice little, cheesecake date. Picked up cheesecake from Cheesecake Factory, took it to the park. Kids were playing. And I see Coffee Combos group message blowing up on my phone. And I'm like, what the fuck is this? And this is where Kail's going to take over.
So I basically come out of hiding. I hadn't been in the group chat really all day. And I see something about Brit or their friend is dating Will. And I'm like, I need answers. Like, I have to tell Lindsie, like, Lindsay's not in here right now. I have to text her. I have to tell her. So I tell you, I text you, let you know. And you're like, I need the information. So I was like, all right, cool. So then Brit changes her story and she's like, well, I don't feel comfortable. Like, I didn't mean to start any shit. Like, I don't feel comfortable with this, blah, blah, blah. I message her separately and I'm like, hey, like, Lindsay's asking for, like, I need answers. And then she's like, no, have Lindsie reach out to me directly. And I'm just like,
nah, like, that's not how this works. I don't reach out to anybody.
Right. Like, if you came in here saying all this shit, then, like, come with the facts, come with the receipts, because Lindsie and I don't come without receipts and actual information. So then she just, like, goes MIA and she wants you to reach out directly or whatever. And I'm like, what the fuck am I supposed to do? So I have no idea at this point, like, is this person real? Is she just trolling? Like, what is this? And that was where it was left for me. I mean, people were
Kail goes to bed at this point.
Yes, because at this point I'm like, okay, you're not going to tell me anything. You come and tell an entire group chat worth of people, that your friend is dating Will. But when I message you directly about it, you don't want to tell me. You also don't really want to tell Lindsie. I think even Kristen might have said, like, are you going to spill the tea? Like, what's going on?
I told her to be about it.
Kristen told her to be about it.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Kristen tells her literally to fucking be about it. And I'm like, okay, first of all, who are you? Like, your username is Brit, but, like, your other name, what was it, Kristen?
I don't want to say the other person's name because I have a real-time update that just came through. And I can confirm that the person who was named Brit, her name is not Brit. She actually hacked someone's PayPal account to get into this group chat.
What?
Yeah. The shit just took a turn.
Oh,
but why not just like come in and just like own it? Just like if you're gonna be
she was
messy.
talking shit about Will. Like she was up, was she not, Kristen? She was up in there talking shit about Will.
And the girlfriend being a copy paste of Lindsie.
Yeah, like allegedly she's a
I
copy
must have
paste of
missed
me.
that.
First of
You
all,
went to bed.
first of all, there's no one that's a copy paste of me. So like sit down. Secondly, Will ordering Tabasco at a nice steakhouse is not surprising to me. Whatever, this girl says that she was there and embarrassed. And I'm like, okay, well, if Will's only been dating this girl a couple months, why is he dining with her and her best friend? Like weird, but whatever. And then third, she said, what was the thing that she said, Kristen, that someone said in the group chat was the photo of Will on these dating apps that was like the truck reflection photo.
Oh yeah, they said, is that what did it for her friend?
Is that what did it for her friend? And she's like, no, Will drives around her car everywhere. And I'm like, okay, this makes no sense. Like, what type of man like is just driving around her car everywhere, ordering Tabasco sauce at some nice steakhouse, just doing weird shit that he's doing. Like, what the hell is going on? And why do you feel like this is tea that needs to be spilled in my private group chats? Like, just go away.
People, I just don't get it. I won't get it. I'll never get it. Now a word from our sponsor, BetterHelp. So Lindsie and I actually just got a message of a woman who said that she is so thankful for our code for BetterHelp because she's starting her therapy journey. And I told her, we're here for her. It's not going to always be easy, but BetterHelp is so great for therapy. And it's just tough to get through everyday life on a regular basis. So you add issues, trauma, anything else into it. It's hard. So therapy can be really beneficial for so many people. And Lindsie and I are happy to help and promote BetterHelp online therapy. You don't have to go in person. You can do online and you can go camera off too, which I've done. Actually, my last therapy session was camera off. So
sometimes you just don't want to be like, you want to be seen, but you don't want to be seen.
Right. Yeah. You want to feel seen without being seen.
Yes.
So if you guys are thinking about trying therapy, BetterHelp is a great option. It's convenient, it's accessible, it's affordable, and it's entirely online. All you have to do is take a brief survey. You can switch therapists at any time, which makes it super simple. When you want to be a better problem solver, therapy can get you there. Visit betterhelp.com/coffee today to get 10% off your first month. That's betterhelp.com/coffee. I just want to say that I'm so thankful for Stitch Fix and getting my kids' fixes in the mail shipped directly to my house because I cannot imagine taking all of my kids' school shopping in a store and having to get everything that we need.
So I absolutely love Stitch Fix, mainly for Jackson. I've done it for myself as well, but I absolutely love it because it's just so easy to be able to get some things to just like add to his wardrobe right to the front door. And I just have to like click a couple of buttons and that's it. And for me, that's so nice because he gets things that he absolutely loves and just wears the hound out of. But also it really took no effort on my part, which is super cool.
The style quizzes are super easy and Isaac's style is a little bit different than the rest of the kids. So it's nice to just say like, yes, he'll wear this. No, he won't wear this. And then another huge thing for me is like, I'm not going to return something if it's not super simple, but they already put in a prepaid shipping envelope and label. So if there's anything that doesn't fit or that your child doesn't like or that you don't like, you can literally just ship it back. And it's already kind of done for you. So you don't have to like go anywhere extra or do anything extra. You just literally put it in your mailbox or on your front porch. I love it. And you can kind of do it monthly. You can do it bi-monthly. You can just do your fixes as often or as little as you want. And they have men, women, and children. So if you guys want to try this, there is no subscription required and you can literally set up automatic deliveries. Like I said, there's never any hidden fees. You can literally do by season, whatever you want. So sign up today at stitchfix.com/combos to get $20 off your first purchase. That's stitchfix.com/combos to get $20 off your first purchase. This is a limited time offer. Purchase within 2 days of sign up.
So then that same evening, my ex-husband thought that it was a good idea that he was going to enter the group chat. He paid $5. He passed go.
Collected $200. He did
He
not
collected
collect
nothing.
He collected nothing.
We collected $5, and I nicely told him, like, you're out, you're kicked out, and also, like, you're not getting your $5 back. Thanks for playing.
Thank you. You did not hit the lottery.
Like, thanks for playing. And, like, also, he texted me and said, I want to go in that chat so I can clear my good name and my girlfriend's good name. First of all, y'all don't even have a name.
Well, is the girlfriend real then? The girl is real.
Allegedly.
Okay.
So I'm like, okay, so you need to clear what name do y'all have? So then he starts talking about how his girlfriend lets him know that censorship is a crime and whatever. And so I just simply told him that censorship might be a crime in itself, and that's great. You can go out and say whatever you want to say, but I don't have to allow you to use my platforms that I have created to say whatever you want to say. That's not free marketing for you. So get the fuck out. And also, please, no named bitch, go back to law school, because you need to read the Constitution and you need to realize that I have freedom of speech. So I'm going to say what the fuck I want to say, when the fuck I want to say it, and how the fuck I want to say it.
I need to see a picture of this woman.
I also made the rules so that it says I can kick anybody out that I want, whenever I want to. So it's not censorship. I just said goodbye.
So then I, get into this knockdown drag out with Will about how, basically he's just being a scrub. And so he tells me that he informed his girlfriend that he was actually the owner of these homes and how he didn't take any money from me, and like how it wasn't a marital asset. This is where I'm going to cue Kristen to play this divorce lawyer TikTok. I also want to say we aren't giving legal advice. This is just a public service announcement to my ex-husband and anybody who is either getting a divorce or has been divorced and dealt with the same thing. So go.
Purchased by either party during the marriage is marital. It's marital. Your name's not on the title. It doesn't matter. The house is marital. Any mortgage payment, whether it's made by you or made by your husband, is a marital payment. So the pay down on the mortgage, you're going to get half of it. Even if you're paying other bills and he's paying the mortgage, you're going to get half of the pay down on the mortgage and half of the appreciation on the house. Any house.
So, don't know if that needs to be told to the girlfriend or Will Campbell himself, but that's literally the law. He wants to say that his name was the only one on the mortgage. Yeah, that's because you're the only one that's stupid, because I put my name on the deed because I pulled a Medea on your ass.
But not on the
mortgage.
My
name's on the deed. My name is on the deed and not on the financial obligation.
That was me too with Javi.
So you got played, buddy. And then I got played in the end because you took my money.
Players, they gon' play. And haters, they gonna hate.
And then I decided that I needed to calm down and realize that really none of this shit matters outside of just like petty drama. So then I started looking at TikTok and found this Steve Harvey TikTok. And I know that you're not as much of a fan of Steve Harvey as I am, but I'm going to play this TikTok and exit the room on this conversation.
About all them bad moments you had, it looked like you wasn't going to make it. And then I want you to ask yourself, well, why did I make it? Well, it's real simple now. It's simply because God ain't through with you yet.
So I have struggled through the bad moments. I will say going through divorce and the way that I went through it, trying to take the high road every single week on my shows, that all can be proven because it's all in archives. I've tried to do that and tried to be fair. These issues started arising when I became more serious with Suburban Dad. And I'm not going to back down from defending myself and sharing my story, because that's not fair to me. And I wasn't required to do that when I was married to him and sharing things on the podcast.
We've said this before, but like, I don't understand the don't talk about me, don't talk, like, This is my life. I'm going to talk about whatever I want.
Literally.
And anyone in my life that was a part of my life, that's a part of my story, that's a part of my journey. I don't care if something happened 5 years ago, 10 years ago. If it applies to the conversation, I'm going to talk about it. If it applies to a topic that our listeners want to hear about that they've experienced, I'm going to talk about it. I just don't. They're weird. It doesn't benefit them anymore. So now they don't want us to talk about it.
And like, you weren't that invested to support my businesses when it was benefiting you.
Mm-hmm.
You were trying to work against me, but now you're pissed off because it's not benefiting you.
And you're still trying to work against me.
You still try to work against me. You're now just trying to be a bigger fucking creep and enter private Facebook groups and private chats. Like, literally downloaded an app, paid $5 to be in there. And, you know, I had this conversation with my dad because I regularly just have life conversations with him and things that are going on. And I'm sure other people do this with their parents as well. But like, the conversation that I had with my dad last night is, if I was the girlfriend, I would run for the hills, because if I had a boyfriend that was still that obsessed with his ex-wife, that he was going through all of these measures to be involved and to get in these groups and, you know, messaging me at 2:00 in the morning about my vagina, my boyfriend's dick,
What? I can't stand
all of these things that are like going on. You know, I would probably assess the situation if I was a smart attorney and be like, for those reasons alone, I'm fucking out.
Right.
But on that note, I just want to say that I did not know how much I was going to love the Telegram app and this group chat, but I absolutely do love it. I love that it's separate from the Facebook group community, because I think it's like instant conversation, right? But I like the Facebook groups because I know that I can go back in those groups when people are posting and like read that at any time and respond, you know, whenever I can get to it. But the chat, it's just different. And I love both of them for very different reasons.
Right.
But the shit that went down in the group chat this weekend, if you guys are invested in our show and you want to be involved, it's super easy. You just download the Telegram app. It's $4.99 a month. And I know that some people had some questions about that. The reason that it's $4.99 a month is for various different reasons. One of those reasons is, outside of my ex-husband and possibly some of Kail's exes, most trolls are not going to pay $5 to be able to get into a private group chat. So it's like an elimination type thing. Outside of that, this is something that Kail and I are also investing more time in to be able to be on there to chat with you guys. And so it's a nominal fee and that's it. And we can do video chats in there. There's so many different things that we can do in there. And the link will be reposted on Thursday on our Instagram and Facebook groups everywhere if you guys would like to join. I think we're close to 600 members on there at this point.
600?
Yeah, I think that we're getting pretty close to 600, which is cool. And I love going on there and being able to chat with everyone. I think it's really cool. And I realize that I have a lot more friends than I have enemies at this point. And so that was refreshing.
Yeah, I love it.
And I know that Kail's going in there getting all types of, you know, information. Like we were talking about Lake Tahoe in there over the weekend.
Yeah.
And like
we're planning a kitty gang vacation next year.
Like so many different things that are going on. So I don't want to like spill any tea of things that were going on outside of, I was just telling my story from what transpired this weekend. But what goes on in the Coffee Convos private chat stays in the Coffee Convos private chat. And I fucking love it in there. Wait, can I play this one TikTok about, I think it's Kevin Hart. I think it is, about my daughter being an asshole.
Go ahead.
This is just so good. I specifically thought of one of your kids whenever I watched this. And I was like, oh, wow, I need to send this to Kail. And I was like, I'm just going to play it for her.
I had the kids to the point where you want to fight. Like, my daughter is an asshole. She is. Like, we argue. Me and my daughter honestly argue. She can't even talk. She know a couple words, right? She put a couple sentences together. It don't matter what I say. She always got to give me something back. and it made me mad. We got to an argument over juice the other day. She came into the room. She was like, Daddy, juice. I said, no, you had enough juice. Go get some water. And she looked at me. She was like, juice. And I looked at her. Who the fuck you think you talking to? Sit your little ass down and get the goddamn... I was so mad. I was mad because I knew she knew what she was trying to say. She just didn't know how to say it. Like, in her mind, she was like, you black midget bitch. Get the juice. Pump that, daddy.
That's in one of his stand-ups. When I saw him live, and I saw that, and I was dying.
Kail, which one of your kids is that?
That's Lux and Creed.
Yeah, it is.
It's
Lux literally Lux fucking Lowry.
Lux is I don't know like what inspired the most recent transition back to WWE, because Lincoln already went through the phase of WWE, but he's back with a vengeance, because I'm telling you, these kids have been fucking each other up for the last 2 weeks on a level that I have never seen before. And I'm fucking scared.
You're like, please just don't bleed or die.
Please don't break a bone. Lincoln's sports are so important to him. Like, please do not bleed, break a bone, or die. Like, please. And I'm like, can you guys be careful? Because Lincoln will put Lux up on his shoulders. And I'm like, I'm scared of a neck injury. Please be careful.
Like, literally, you're going to end up paralyzed. Like, please don't do that.
Please don't do this.
Sometimes Jackson will be upstairs and it will be so loud that I feel like he's going to come through the ceiling. And I tell him, I say, I swear, son, like, if I find you dangling from the ceiling, I'm not helping.
No, I won't.
Like, I'm literally not. Okay, speaking of dangling, let's do foul play.
All right, so a friend of mine was talking to this chick and she gave him head. She told him to finish in her mouth, so he did. When he got up to use the bathroom and rinse/clean off, he got a Snapchat from her. She grabbed a mason jar off his nightstand, spit out the cum, and proceeded to drink it. Spit it back out again and drank it again. Looks like she would like a side of cum pancakes to go with her cum milkshake. I'm so disgusted. What the fuck is wrong? Like, there's a level of kink that I could get behind, but
this ain't it.
This is not it. And I'm concerned about your sanity and your well-being.
First of all, why didn't she swallow?
At that, if you want him to come, like, there's nothing sexy about spitting in a jar or drinking it again several times. There's absolutely nothing. He already busted, so like he's not turned on.
Okay, I just need to know why she needed to Snapchat this.
And who else did it go to?
Yeah, also. Yeah, like, ew.
Because why wouldn't she just wait for him to come out of the bathroom? Like, why? Who else did this go to?
Probably.
Wait, can I tell you what?
I said it probably went to OnlyFans.
Oh, probably on OnlyFans for sure. Wait, so some of the reaction videos of the men of Coffee Convos podcast that I saw about the cum pancakes was just gold. Like, could you imagine being a man, hearing your woman listen to a podcast, and it's just like the foul play?
Disgusting.
I would be like, bitch, are you okay?
I just want to know if the original guy that did this, if anyone told him, hey, your story is on Coffee Combos.
I don't know. Would love to know. But like, so alarming. Like, truly so alarming. And this is, you're right. Like, there's a level of kink that like you can get behind. And then there's just a level of, okay, this is truly foul.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't get behind this. Like, all I need to say to this person is that you should have swallowed and called it a day.
Literally, that's all you needed to do. And then like went about your day, literally.
On that note, we're going to go about our day.
Yes, we are.
If you guys have not followed us on @Coffee Convos Podcast on Instagram, please make sure that you follow us over there. If you have not downloaded the Telegram app and joined the Kitty Gang on our little group chat, make sure that you join that. And if you have not subscribed to our show, you can do that by searching the Purple Podcast app, type in Coffee Combos, click subscribe, click the 5th star, and leave us a written review. You can find us on pretty much every podcast app. And As always, Podcast One will be releasing it first. So if you don't see it at 4 a.m., you can always check out Podcast One's website and it will be there. I hope you guys all have a blessed week outside of my ex-husband, and I hope you have a great day.
See ya.
I'm Lola Blanc.
And I'm Megan Elizabeth.
And we're the hosts of Trust Me, Cults, Extreme Belief, and the Abuse of Power right here on Podcast One.
Don't miss our interview with Mikkel Jolet from the Airborne Toxic event.
So I'm on the porch. Phil comes home. These two men come up behind him, and they had these like flesh-covered nylons over their faces, and they start beating him. And you can just hear him screaming on the street. And I'm hiding at this point. And they say, "Where's Mikkel and Tony?" Because they were coming to get us.
Get new episodes of Trust Me on Podcast One, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.